So I'm still working on chapter 3, exercise 3.1. I'm on page 121. I've done 1 through 9 before, and then I went ahead and did number 10. Number 10 is just making the H3 around the two other speakers and adding my break in there, just so that it goes down to the next line. It wouldn't make any difference if I didn't have a line break there. Let me show you the preview. If I didn't have the line break in the HTML itself, it wouldn't make any difference. That's not what's making the carriage return or the enter. That's that BR tag. But I can put it back down there. That's probably how I would choose to look at it in the HTML. And number 11, enclose the name for each speaker in an A tag. An A tag is an anchor. That means that it's a link. And so it will need to link to something. But let's go ahead and around each speaker's name, add an A tag. And if I have to nest this A inside the H3. So I need to close my A tag inside the H3 just because I opened it inside the H3. So make sure that it's fully nested in there or it won't work properly. So I've added the A tag. The href attribute for each tag should refer to the file in the speakers subfolder. Okay. So for Jeffrey Toobin, this A should have an href, and every A should have an href because it's a link. It means it needs to link to somewhere. So I'm going into the speakers tab and to the file with that speaker's last name .html. And then I'm going to do the same thing for Sorkin. And give that an href. And choose speakers and Sorkin. And then around the last speaker as well. Href, and it doesn't matter in what order I choose to do this. Speakers. There's my A. It gives me an in tag. And my A. So now I have all of these are links to some other page. So if I were to click on them, then it should take me to another page. Of course, those pages don't have any work done on them. Oh, there we go. I had to refresh to see that again. That's number 11. Number 12, after the H3 element for each speaker, I'm going to add an image. I want to display the image for the speaker, and of course, I need to have an alt attribute. I need to have that on every image. Let's see. Okay, and then it tells me the path. All right. So after each speaker, and I'm going to give myself an extra line there just so that I have some space to work with. Image, source. That source is coming from images. And I'm looking for Toobin75. Close my image tag, and he shows up. Perfect. Do the same thing with Andrew Ross Sorkin. Whoops. I need an image tag with a source. And that source is going to be in the images. Whoops. Sorkin75. And then, whoops, close that. Angle bracket. And do the same thing for Amy. Source, images, Chua75. Close that. Okay, now I have all of their images showing up over here, and that looks good. Now I'm going to fix my indentation over here in my HTML, just tab that over a couple of times. And I think that looks all right. Number 13, enter the footer. Copy the last paragraph of the text file into the footer of the HTML and enclose that in a P element. So I'm going to come back to my content, my C3 content, and get this copyright line, copy it into my index, put it inside my footer, and now it shows up on the bottom line. Okay, I need to surround that in a P. Even though it shows up, we won't have any elements that are just kind of standalone without a P or without something around them, a P or an H1 through H6 or image or an A or something. It will have something around it. All of our text, all of our copy will be in a tag. And so that's number 13. Number 14, use character entities to add the quotation marks at the start and end of the text in the block quote element. Okay, so let's go find HTML character entities and should be able to come to W3 Schools and find my my marks that I need. So one of the things that is possible is to have a right quote and a left quote, but here at W3 Schools, it just has a double quotation mark with this entity name or this entity number, and you can type it in either way, and it will create that quote. I'm going to use, I typically use the one with the piece of the word because it's just more recognizable when I look at this page in HTML, but HTML itself wouldn't care. The browser wouldn't care how I typed it in there. And I'm putting that at the start and end of the text inside this block quote. Oops. I don't need that. I just need that. And the same thing on the end. Let's come look at it. Yep, now I have double quotes. That's perfect. I need to do the same thing with the copyright symbol. The copyright symbol is down here. That's the ampersand copy, semicolon. And now instead of this C in parentheses, we're just going to replace that with this character entity, this ampersand copy semicolon, and see that it should have changed. Yeah, now it looks like the copyright symbol instead of parentheses. Okay, and then I can add the sup tags, that's superscript tags, for raising the TH up in 75th. Up here in 75th, I'm going to add sup tag and close my sup tag. And now 75th, yep, it's superscripted up there. Perfect. And I think that's all I needed to do through number 16. Okay, next is to test. So click on the link for the first speaker page, and I already did that. I clicked on Jeffrey Toobin and it says the page is under construction. That's good. And let me see if I have enough time on this video. Oh, I don't see my timer. All right, I'm going to stop this video and pick up this validation and testing at the end. Make a new video for that.